picking at the bones of everything that will ever be. Pieces of a life forevermore. Find the light for me. Thinking on a dream I never had. Pictures of a world I've never seen. Pieces of a life forevermore. Find the light for me.
It's like a haunting feeling, deep breathing, lights flickering. I'm so scared. You said you'd come for me. Are you a ghost? I would die for you. I will be your ghost. If we run through the night, we can dive into a stranger world. Till death do us part, I'll be your stranger girl. One kiss, one touch, one night, we fight. One kiss, one touch, one night, we fight. This is where it all began. I promised myself if you asked me to go that I'd stay right here. I'll stay right here. I will be your ghost. And all the fights we ever had, you said it's over. And all the times we called it quits and had our closure. And all the fights we ever had and said it's over. I stayed right here. Yeah, I stayed right here. You said you'd come for me. Are you a ghost? I would die for you. I will be your ghost. If we run through the night, we can dive into a stranger world. Till death do us part, I'll be your stranger girl. This is where it all began. I promised myself if you asked me to go that I'd stay right here. I'll stay right here. All the fights we never had and said it's over. I stay right here. I'll stay right here.
Yo, what is up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing good. We got the bucket on today. We're chilling. Hope everyone's surviving the FOMC shenanigans, hence the name of this live stream. I think a lot of people got caught with their pants down today. So we'll talk about the meeting a little bit. We'll talk about the charts. And we will obviously talk about what I think's coming next. And I'll also explain kind of how I was able to predict what happened. And we'll just kind of go from there. So, sorry, I'm just going to fuck with the lighting here because, of course, it's changing by the minute. How's that? A little better. Okay, so let's get into it. Real quick shout out to the sponsors of the streams, my friends over at Prime XBT. So if you want to support me, and I know many of you do because you send me messages asking how to help out. I don't want your tips or anything like that. Use the link in the description. Sign up to Prime using that link. Before you deposit any money, type in code Mayne50 in the promo code box. You get up to a 7% bonus on deposits to a maximum of $100K deposit, which would be a $7,000 bonus. And I get a kickback from that. So if you're signing up with that link, you're depositing some money, and hopefully you're making money following some of my trades. That's the best way to support me. So for all of you guys that have signed up and are using that link and are depositing and actually trading on Prime, I really, really appreciate it. It helps me out. That's how I pay my editor. That's how I pay for video equipment. Obviously, I pay out of pocket as well, but that kickback helps out. And if you guys are loving the work my editor's doing, he's an absolute monster with the TikTok edits, which are full of fucking alpha, the YouTube shorts, the Instagram videos, the condensed streams, the jokes, all that fun stuff that everyone likes. That's all thanks to my editor. So if you want to help me out, you want to help him out, use that Prime link in the description, deposit some funds on there and get trading. So shout out to him, shout out to Prime, shout out to all of you who've been supporting me along the way. So little bit of what's up, Cause? How you doing, man? I do got to make a Spotify playlist. You're absolutely right. Okay, so obviously we had FOMC today. So I do think that it's funny because I come from a background. Obviously, I've been in crypto a long time, but I really cut my teeth trading in Forex. So things like CPI, non-farm payroll, FOMC, and these major economic events, right? These announcements, interest rate announcements, things like that. That was something I was actively paying attention to because you could go on the Forex calendar website and they would actually label things green, yellow, red for how high of an impact these items might be on a specific currency that you might be trading. So it was something I was always aware of and paying attention to. FOMC, obviously, with what's going on right now, hearing the Fed speak and talk about what they're doing to combat inflation, interest rates, things like that, you know, the continuation of QT. It is important for risk assets. And what crypto Twitter has learned over the last, let's say 6 months, maybe a year, for some people who kind of got on the wave a little earlier, is that Bitcoin is a risk asset. Crypto is in that risk asset basket. And what happens in equities happens in crypto, right? Maybe it's magnified, maybe it's higher beta in crypto, but we are pretty lockstep with what's going on in equities. So now, as crypto Twitter tends to do, everyone's an expert on it, right? Everyone's an expert. Just like when there's, the Ukraine thing going on, everyone's an expert on geopolitical politics. And during COVID, everyone's an expert on vaccines and virology and immunology. And whenever anything is happening, everyone on crypto Twitter, they just are experts at it. It's really insane how multifaceted and talented the people on crypto Twitter are. You can see someone never talk about something ever, and then they're talking about it with so much authority, you almost believe that they have an idea what they're talking about. But for the most part, they don't. And that's what you saw today, right? I wrote a couple kind of, I wouldn't say they're subtweets because they weren't directed at anyone, just kind of more of a mass subtweet being like, oh, everyone's talking about FOMC. Most people don't even know what FOMC stands for. I had some people message me directly and ask me what FOMC stands for. Some people were like, well, that's FOMO, right? It's fear of missing out. And it's not. I just think it's funny that everyone seems to have an opinion on something that definitely has an effect on the market, but they're only now just realizing that maybe ignoring the macro, everyone hates the term macro, and ignoring equities, turns out maybe that wasn't such a good idea, because if you've paid attention to equities, you've been crushing crypto for the last 6 months plus, right? Even since the COVID bottom, we've been pretty much in lockstep with the S&P 500, with the NASDAQ, with the Dow, very, very, very tight correlation. So, I posted a video last night. I originally wanted to stream last night. I was at some dinner with some friends, went a little long. So I posted a video last night talking about my thoughts going into this and my plan on how to trade it. And it played out precisely. As usual, the precision is unmatched. So we're just going to take a quick look at that video here.
It's Trader Mayne here. I'm gonna stream tomorrow instead. So 1.75 as like a good thing. Like, oh, that's not that bad.
So what this is the bips, right? You see everyone talking about the bips. This is how many basis points we were estimating were going to be added to rates, right? Were they going to hike rates? 75 bips would be 0.75. 100 bips would be an entire point, right? So, people were speculating, okay, well, we already think 75 bips is priced in. We already know that that's what he's going to say. So if he says that, that's actually, less bearish than we thought, right? 100 bips, everything's going to nuke. It's super bearish, but we're expecting 75. So if it's 75, that's actually bullish. And what I think is funny is that people are convinced that a 0.75 percentage point rise in rates for multiple consecutive meetings is in any way bullish. It is not at all. So if the only bullish thread you were able to get from today's FOMC meeting was that, well, it could have been worse, and we were kind of expecting it to be bad, and it was just as bad as we expected, not worse than we expected, and therefore that's bullish, you are grasping at straws, my friend. Nothing about what Jerome Powell said today or what he said at Jackson Hole was in any way bullish, okay? And some people are trying to be like, but Mayne, he said the same shit over and over again. And yeah, the shit he's been saying has been bad. It's been bad. He basically said that they're willing to crater the economy to get inflation in control so we can then go and have, a mega pump in the future. Which listen, at the end of the day, I'm fine with, right? Like, I don't know what the solution is other than to continue with QT, but they said the housing market's going to get whacked, joblessness is going to get worse, unemployment's going to continue to go up, inflation, maybe it's starting to top out, it's steadying, but all of the indicators that you look at, the dollar, interest rates, bonds, all of those things that you want to see topping out to give you a sign that maybe things are going to turn around in the risk market aren't yet. And it seems like today was like, it's more the same. It's going to take a while. Shit is probably going to get worse. And then we can have expansion again, right? So I don't think that anything about what he said today was bullish. And I think it's funny that people saying, well, we expected it to only be 75 bips and therefore that's bullish. Those people got rinsed, right?
That's what we expected. So that could potentially be bullish, which I think is just comical as a whole. The fact that people thinking a 75 basis point rise is bullish in the slightest is ridiculous, but maybe the lack of even worse news could be construed as bullish. I don't know. regardless, if we do get a 75 basis points announcement tomorrow, perhaps the market digests that bullishly. I'm looking to fade any pumps up into this area on Bitcoin. So if we get some sort of run above this high here into this order block, that would be something I'm looking to short, not blind.
Okay. So, I mean, what else can I say? What else can I say? Right? Sorry, I just gotta keep fucking with the lighting because it's literally getting darker by the second as the sun leaves and we enter the eternal doom that is winter here in Canada. It's exactly what happened. Now, when you have a news-driven move like this where it happens very quickly, sometimes you don't get that low time frame entry, right? So I oftentimes like to enter on the low time frame, right? I like to get that low time frame action, and we come up in the level, and then I want to zoom in and I want to see some sort of setup for him here. Sometimes you don't get that when the move happens very quickly, like it did here, right? This move was extremely fast into the level. So unless you were sitting there on screen, which I happen to be, and we're just shorting this, you might have been like, well, how the hell do you get involved in this? I'm going to show you, right? So first of all, the H12 setup, entry here, stop here, target the H12 low. That's just the H12 setup, no low time frame. That's 3R, just entering on the 12 hour. Not zooming in, not going on the low time frame, trying to snipe an entry, literally entering just based on what I said in the video. A move up here is a fade, get short, your invalidation is above the order block, the swing high, target that swing low. Right? This is just a range here from here to here. Range low, up into premium, range high, target, range low. It's bread and butter, okay? However, if you missed this initial sell, right? Because a lot of people were like, I'm long into FOMC, right? They got that pumped. So many people got rinsed. They got caught with their pants down because they were expecting the pump to go higher, or maybe they shorted before FOMC. I had a plan in advance. That's how I know I didn't have to worry, right? If price would have never come to my area, like if it would have just done this, no trade. If it would have just did this, no trade, right? But I had a plan. I knew where I wanted to get in. I knew where my idea was wrong. Wanted to get in here, idea wrong here, target 1, target 2. I knew all those things in advance. So when I get on screen this morning and I see a very aggressive move up into here, I have no problem aping into a short market order, like no issue, because I already know where my risk is. I know why I'm entering here, and I know where I'm targeting. So I have no stress. I already know the worst case scenario, -1R, and I know exactly how much money that is before I even enter the trade. So there is no FOMO, right? There is no greed. There is no emotion involved in that decision, right? Whereas a lot of people, soon as this happened, right? I fucking told you, bears are fucked. Boom. Wrecked. Oh, I fucking told you, they just shook out the bears. Bears are fucked. Chimp Zoo, we're talking about you right here, right? Boom. Fucking wrecked again. All that emotion, the flip-flopping, the chop, people getting, oh, it was choppy. It was not for me. I knew exactly what I wanted to see. When it happened, I executed. But like I said, if it didn't come into my zone and give me a setup, I wouldn't have had a trade. So you have to be comfortable with both. You have to understand that, okay, if it does what I think it's going to do, I need to execute because it's a plan that I've laid out in advance. I know the risk, I know the reward. But you also need to be comfortable with the fact that maybe it didn't come up this high and you wanted to short. Let's say you want to short, but it only came up to here and then dumped. You also need to be comfortable with the fact that you might miss the trade. And people are going to be on Twitter being like, look at me. People like me are going to be like, I fucking told you and blah, blah, blah. You cannot let that get to your head. Sometimes you're wrong and sometimes you miss trades. Okay, so you got to be okay with that. But having that plan in advance, it removes so much emotion and stress in the decision-making process because you already know the worst case scenario, right? So Let's say you missed this initial sell-off, this initial move here, and you're like, oh, fuck, I missed it. Well, look what happened here. We got a second move up. It tagged the level again, right? But more importantly, what is this? Is that not a bearish order block on the low time frame? I mentioned low time frame, look for weakness. Up candle before down move that broke market structure. We came back. There's your fill, target 1, target 2, and in this instance, your stop is even tighter. Okay? Stop is even tighter. So on this trade, you're entering at the OB. Okay? Stop here. $2.5R, 4R to target 2. So 2 entries, right? The initial H12 entry here, and then a low time frame continuation play. This is standard shit that I share with you guys every single week. Up candle before the down move, right? It breaks market structure, pulls back. There's your short, stop above, continuation, right? All of that right here. All of the craziness of FOMC, everyone trying to predict, is it bullish, is it bearish, blah, blah, blah. You had a plan. You knew exactly what to look for. You knew where to look for it. And now you get to reap the rewards, right? You get paid. So I'm very happy with how this played out for me. Hopefully my explanation makes sense. I literally posted the video last night explaining exactly fucking this. And I posted a chart on Twitter yesterday with the exact same thing. So I hope some of you guys made money. I know some of you did. I've gotten some great DMs today of people, who made some money, made a couple grand, made even more. So I love that shit. I'm telling you, I love that shit. If you have a success story, if you caught a win, I'm not trying to take credit for it, right? Like at the end of the day, you're pressing the button. You're the one putting in the time learning, but I want to hear about it, man. If I helped you in any way on your journey to make some fucking bucks, let me know. I love hearing that shit. Okay. I slept through the entire US trading day. Well, that's a fucking L for you, my man. The first song I played was Hot Freeway by Flux Pavilion. What's up, Mez? Mayne, how do you become good looking and successful like you? To be honest with you, it's very simple. You need to go find a Bible, a Torah, Quran, whatever religion and God that you like to pray to. You need to go find that scripture, that text, okay? And then every night before bed, you need to get on your hands and knees and you need to pray. You need to just pray that one day you wake up and you are a handsome, thick-necked, rich Canadian trader. And maybe God will grant you your wishes. Probably not, but maybe. Just deposit $100 to Prime. No need to thank me. I'm going to thank you anyway, Simon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Trader Cause says we should short Adam. We'll take a look at Adam. Crypto K. How's it going, mate? It's going good, bro. How are you? Mayne, the Canadian dollar getting wrecked against USD. I think you meant wreck, not rent. Yeah, the dollar's going up, right? This is why I always explain to people. So the dollar CAD is USD divided by CAD, right? So this represents the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar. So if this goes up, the DXY, what do you think happens to this entire pair? It goes down. So if this was the denominator, as in BTC USD, and this is going up, right? What do you think happens to the pair? It goes down. Because if the numerator goes up in a fraction, the fraction goes down. If the denominator goes up in a fraction, the fraction goes down, right? How is 75 bullish? That's exactly what I said, Troy. Mike says he's tripping on acid. Well, Mike, as someone who's done copious amounts of LSD before, there are much better things you can do than watch me talk about the markets. That being said, that itch that you feel, it's actually coming from under your skin, and you need to rip your skin off to relieve that itch, okay? And when you leave the house, make sure you grab onto something, because the globe, it's spinning really fucking fast. And if you don't hang on, you will literally get flung off into space. But good luck with the trip, my man. All right. Do I have any copy trade programs? No. How do I find an order block? Go watch my order block video. Mayne, you're a boss. Thank you. The Bears. Potential breaker forming right now? Possibly. If the numerator goes up, the fraction... excuse me. That is correct. I apologize. Let me redo that. Zanex caught me out. That's correct. I have an entire video series on these ratios, but correct. If the numerator is appreciating faster, right? If this is going up, the fraction is going up, right? If this is going up, the fraction is going down. Excuse me. So if USD is the denominator, as it is with Bitcoin USD, when this is really strong, if it's outpacing Bitcoin, the fraction itself, aka the price of Bitcoin versus the US dollar, is going down. My bad. You are correct. I've said it so many times, I'm even confusing myself. How much do you shrug? I don't even know, man. I honestly, I was going through some progress pictures. I've been lifting seriously for a little over 3 years now. And I went and found like a progress picture of me fucking like back in 2019. And like my neck is way smaller. So are my traps. And I think it's from deadlifts. I think that's the most targeted, because I do pull-ups, I do shoulder press, but I think deadlifts are what really grew my neck and my traps. Okay. Jesus Christ, almost just choked on fucking water. Sorry, I gotta adjust the lighting again, guys. So let's talk about where we're at right now, okay? So we took out, and there was actually one more short that played out here. You could have potentially got in here. This would have been a pretty sneaky entry, okay? Right? Because that's a breaker right there. So boom. You would have had to be fucking crisp to catch that one. But it was there, right? Stop above the breaker. Target the H12 low. Like that trade was there. I didn't get that personally. But it was there. So let's talk about where we're at right now. So if we look at the H12 chart, ultimately, I'm still of the mindset that we are trading down towards June's low here. Okay, I do still think that, why is this not stuck? There we go. Right, I still think that we will trade down towards June's low. Right, the market structure is bearish. The high time frame is bearish. If you look at like the really high time frame charts, right, like this is a quarterly low right here. The quarterly high is way the fuck up here. So in terms of like the next draw on liquidity, this just seems like the most obvious place to go next. June's low, that's 17,605 for this chart, right? You look at the monthly chart here, we've taken out all of these lows. These lows are both gone. This seems like the next obvious level, right? So June's low here, which is 17,605 per BitMEX, or Bitfinex, excuse me, spot. That seems like the next draw on liquidity. You're looking at this monthly candle for September. We're 3/4 of the way through the month. You have that long upper wick and we're trading down here. This just seems like the next target for me. So if I zoom in to the 12-hour here, or even the weekly, right? You look at the weekly. What's the weekly setup? Yeah, it took a while to play out, but you have a weekly swing failure pattern here. You have a weekly breaker right here. Okay. Bang. Target here. That's the weekly play right here. So this looks ready to take out that low. That becomes the most obvious level to me. So if I go down to the 12-hour now, we just had that move up to the top side of this 12-hour range here, this high to this low. Took out everyone here, right? Dumped. Once we took out this 12-hour low and we closed as an SFP, in my opinion, probably not a bad place to take some profit, right? Now what we're looking at here is this. Okay? New 12-hour bearish order block is formed. So we were trading this 12-hour block. Now we're trading this one. So what I'm looking for next, right? SFP right here, is probably something like this. Once we run this low, then I might be interested in looking to get on a long, on some sort of move below that low there, and then back into some sort of mean reversion. My hope is that we're still in a big range here, right? I hope that we're still in a big range here. So if you do this, right? If we do this, the hope here, is that we're still in this large range. That's the hope, right? For the bulls is that this is some sort of large range low to range high. We're now moving back to the low, run this low, and then maybe we get some sort of mean reversion back into the range. That would be the bullish setup that I'm looking for coming up here, potentially for the month of October. But for a short-term move, I still think this is the obvious draw based on what everything looks like, where liquidity is. I believe that this is the next level that gets taken out. And how I'm looking to get involved in that, if you're not short already from higher, I think you watch this 12-hour order block here and you say, okay, do we come up in here and show some weakness? If so, I'm looking to take a short from up here into here. Okay? And then below here, sure, maybe we get long on some sort of mean reversion play. But that's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? No problem, Mike. Take care, buddy. Drink water as well. Definitely drink water. How do you choose the correct order block? Go watch my fucking order block video, man. Come on. In your opinion, are there any specific times of day other than news events where it's most profitable to trade crypto? I wouldn't say that there's times of day where it's most profitable. You can trade any time of day and fucking suck ass and lose a bunch of money, or make money. But there's periods of volatility, much like in Forex, right? Or in the equities markets, there's going to be times of volatility, right? London Open, the New York session, right? There's going to be periods of time during the day where there's generally more volatility. Crypto does not stick to these time frames as much as Forex does, for example. Like when I trade Forex, I have specific strategies for New York Open. I have specific strategies for the London Open, right? Crypto does adhere to it a little bit, but sometimes the middle of the fucking day, some shit goes down, right? Maybe after equities close, crypto moves, right? But it doesn't mean just because there's a good time to be paying attention because there might be more volatility, it doesn't mean you're going to be more profitable. Profitability has nothing to do with when you're trading. Does your system fucking work or not? If your system fucking sucks, doesn't matter what time of day you're trading. should have known that it was going to dump bad when price was going up during Powell's speech. Everything he was saying was absolute bearish outlook long term. So I agree. However, I'm flexing, being like, yo, I told you that they were going to say 75 points. People were going to think it's bullish and that's going to nuke. That's fun to say. At the end of the day, that's not a trade, right? My trade was 100% based on the chart. And whether it was FOMC or not, I was looking for the exact same setup. Okay? And because it was FOMC, it just played out very fucking quickly. You don't need to pay attention to the fucking news if you know how to read the chart. Okay? That's what I believe. Some people disagree with me and they're like, no, the news fucking drives price. Some people say, no, it's all priced in and the chart's going to tell you what it's going to do. I'm in the latter camp. There's no way to know who is right for sure, but I trade based on the chart. Whether or not this was FOMC, I was still looking to short up there. Thanks, Mayne. Appreciated your educational content. When you started, did you get funding via a prop firm or did you trade your own capital? I traded my own capital. I borrowed money from lines of credit, credit cards. I went into debt. I did a lot of stupid shit. I took a lot of dumb risks, but it ended up working out. I don't advise that for anyone. I do have a funded account with a prop firm. I don't use it very much because I have enough of my own money that I don't really need it. And a lot of those prop firms, they're kind of like, they're hard to get approved on, first of all, right? Like one of the ones I use, right? And many of them are the same. They have like a test period, right? Where you have to basically do a challenge. Maybe it's 30 days or something like that, where you have to prove you're profitable. They usually have a profit target, like let's say 10% account growth, but then they also have drawdown maxes, right? Like you cannot be more than 5% in the hole. You cannot lose more than 5%, in any given day. There's a bunch of rules, right? And it's very easy to fail, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So a lot of these prop firms make a whole lot of money off of people just taking the test over and over again and failing, right? And then when you are trading with the prop firm, those rules still exist. No longer is there a profit goal generally, but there are loss and drawdown rules, right? So you can lose that funding if you go into too big of a drawdown. They just yank it. So yeah. If you don't have a copy trading program, then there's someone on Instagram with 22K followers posing as you, trying to get people to sign up. Yeah, there's absolutely tons of scammers on Twitter, on Instagram, that are using my name and are trying to sell you shit. So if the name is not Trader Mayne, no double R's, no double N, no double letters. If it's not that, it's not fucking me. And I get so many messages from people being like, is this you? Like, if you're giving money to some random dude who you think is me and the name is spelt wrong, that's on you, bro. Come on, right? But if you want, send me that guy's name on a DM on Twitter and I will go report his account on Instagram because I don't want people to get scammed, but you got to use your fucking noggin, man. This guy says, Daddy Mayne, let me kiss your forehead. No, thank you, but I appreciate the thought. Mayne, I'm struggling with choosing whether a wick or a candle body close when determining a market structure break. I like to see a candle close, right? So this, for example, I do not consider a market structure break because the candle did not close through. If this is your swing low, right? This is a market structure break for me. Some people use wicks. Some people use candle closes. I do not, right? I want to see if this 12-hour candle closed below this low, it's a market structure break. Because it ran the low and closed above, it is not a market structure break based on how I trade, okay? You might think differently, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but whatever decision you make, stay consistent with it. This guy's a first-time chatter, and he just says egg. All right. All right, so we're going to look, we're going to jump into Ethereum now. I'll do some quick high time frame shit. So anytime there's anything bearish that happens with crypto, right? Crypto Twitter fucking explodes in bearish propaganda. People who were telling you that the bull market is back on or that we're long just fucking hours ago are now being like 13K is fucking assured and I fucking told you so. Everyone wants to get their bottom targets out there. Trader Mayne, okay, back here, okay, I posted about these targets way back there. I can't even find the tweets because I tweet so goddamn much that I don't even know where those tweets are, but they're there, okay? I was talking about these levels ages ago. I do videos every single week. If you go watch old streams, I talk about the potential of way more fucking downside, right? 13K being the level, not here, right? But I had 20K, previous all-time high. Look where we are. Close above, close above, close above. Now we're trading below. Just based on the monthly chart, this seems to be the next logical range to look at, right? But I had this 13K level on my charts and I posted it on Twitter and I talked about it on videos fucking ages ago. But the problem is I talk about it here, then this happens and everyone thinks the bull market's back on. I talk about it here, this happens, everyone thinks the bull market's back on, right? It's the same shit, different day. This reminds me of back in, this last bull run that I was in. Every time we had one of these pumps off 6K, everyone thought we were going back to all-time high and I was like, no, we're not. And 6K ain't gonna hold. Anyways, I do think that this is a very logical level. As long as we're trading below the previous all-time high, I don't see why 13K isn't a level that you're paying attention to. Okay? Doesn't mean it has to go there, doesn't mean it will, but as long as we're trading below here, I don't know why you aren't at least aware of this level based on it being the monthly close of the last all-time high. It also capped the market right here. Once we broke it, we went on the fucking bull run that we just had. So this is an important level. Okay, why I also like this level is if you take your measuring tool from the all-time high down to here, that puts us at about an 80% drawdown from all-time high. All of the previous bull runs from top to the new low pulled back between 80 and 85% on Bitcoin. Altcoins generally a lot more, 90, 95, some 99 and never came back. But like Ethereum did like a 90% pullback. But Bitcoin, generally, when it has a bull run, the high to the low is about 80% or so. This one was high. Is this right? No, that's not right. What am I looking at here? Let's go to BTC USD. Let's look at Bitstamp here. Oh, look, look at that. Look at this fucking chart I just randomly pulled up, and it already had all of this shit on it for us. Where is this level? Oh, look at that. That 13K level's there. I don't even know when I used this Bitstamp chart, but it proves my point that I was already fucking talking about it. So again, 80%, right, would have put us at, around 13K. 84%. The bull run way back here, 86%. So it lines up very well, that 13K level with a previous key level of support, right? And being in line with that 80% pullback from all-time high that's happened in each of the previous cycles. We're now trading below that last all-time high level. This seems like a level you want to pay attention to, in my opinion, if price does end up going down there. I don't know if it will for sure. I don't fucking know. But if it does, you definitely want to pay attention. The main difference that we have now, right, is that the macro picture is different. Stocks were still in a bull run here and here. This entire time, stocks have been in a bull run. Now stocks are in a bear market. We are in a recession. Even though the government changed the definition of a recession, we are in a recession, okay? And it could get uglier, especially if what Powell is saying is going to happen. Stocks probably still trade lower. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we pull back more than 85%? Or does that just mean that maybe the bear market just lasts longer and the range that we form down here just lasts longer? Or maybe it gets way uglier. I don't fucking know. What I do know is that I'm playing level to level, and I also have a plan. And I alluded to this on Twitter today. I personally think that Bitcoin probably bottoms somewhere between like $10,000 to $12,000. Maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher. I think Ethereum probably bottoms somewhere around $500, maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher. It's very hard to pick the bottom, right? You're not gonna. Right? You're not gonna, no, very few people just bought this and were like, that's the bottom. That's the bottom. And then held it all the way up. Lots of people who bought this puked it as soon as it went up a little bit or went down a little bit, right? Because it's very fucking difficult to time the bottom and then to have the fucking gonads to stick with your plan. That being said, once the 6K floor broke, I was expecting it to break. So once it broke and we started capitulating down, I started buying spot. And I knew that I wasn't going to catch the bottom, but I knew I could get close, okay? And I knew that my risk, at least back then, was literally zero. My risk was everything goes to zero. So if I bought a Bitcoin at 5K, my risk is 5K. Okay, I bought a Bitcoin at 4K. The risk on that Bitcoin was it going to zero, right? So once it broke the 6K floor, I started buying in the 5,000s and I started buying more in the 3,000s. And then when we put in this higher low, you can go back on Twitter. I mapped this exact higher low here into the order block. And I did the same thing on Ethereum. This higher low, I mapped it. Said this is a higher low. I think that's good. So I started buying here. And I bought. And my average price ended up somewhere in the 4,000s. It's not the low, right? But would you be pretty happy if you bought a bunch of Bitcoin at 4,000 and it went to 60K? Of course you would, right? So I think the same thing is applicable here. And I have a very similar plan. I personally think anywhere between 10 and 20K for the long term. Okay, this is not a trade. You should treat it like a trade because you still need to know where you want to enter and why and blah, blah, blah. But I think 10 and 20K long term, like if you believe Bitcoin sees all-time high again, which I do, based on the last all-time high being 69,000, nice, I would say a conservative estimate is that it's going to go beyond 70K, right? If you believe we're going to see a new all-time high again, at the very least, we're going to see 70K plus. So if you're buying between 10 and 20K, you're anywhere from a 3 to 7x on your spot buys. That's pretty fucking good. Let's say the bottom is 10K and you bought 25% at 20, or right? 25% at 17.5, 25% at 12.5, and 25% at 10. Your average buy, right, becomes like $15,000. If Bitcoin goes to 70K, do you think you really care that the bottom was 10 and it went to 70 when you bought at 15? No, right? So I personally don't believe dollar cost averaging is a meme, but you have to have a plan and you have to execute that plan intelligently. Because if you think buying between 10 and 20K is a good idea and you buy 75% of your stack at 20, are you going to be willing to hold that if it possibly goes as low as 10? Or are you going to puke it, right? So you still got to have a plan. You still got to have a plan. You still got to know where that idea is wrong. You still got to execute. You still got to have the mental fortitude, right, to be potentially in drawdown on some of your buys. That being said, if you're bullish on crypto long term, you think Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, I think long term between 10 and 20K is pretty good. If it bottoms at 10, right, and you average down to 15, you're stoked. But guess what? Let's say it bottoms at 15. At least you got some fills. And then when it gets back above 20, you can add more, right? Because if you're like, no, it's bottoming at 10, what if it never goes there? Think of all the people who wanted to buy 2K. Did you just never fucking buy? Or did you say, okay, I think it might bottom at 2. It goes down to 3. You buy some. Then it starts going up. Okay, now I need a plan to get more size in, right? Because it might not go as low as you think. So as much as I want it to go to 10 to 12K, maybe it doesn't go that low. So I need to have a plan to still get exposure regardless. Meaning maybe I start averaging in higher. And I also have a plan saying, okay, well, once it's like confirmed bottom, like if we do something like this, right? And we do some big range here, and then we reclaim 20. I'm pretty confident we're not going to 10. So I'm going to have to buy higher, right? You got to be okay with that, right? But you got to have a fucking plan. But I think between 10 and 20K long term, start at least considering building a position is not a bad idea. That being said, if you buy at 20 and it is going to go to 10, those 20K buys are going to look shitty for a while. My 5K buys, right? I had buys here. Like I bought here and I bought here. Trust me, dude, for months, those buys felt awful. Awful, right? But I had a plan. So anyways, to summarize, I fucking told you so. Everyone's dumb except me. Yada, yada, yada. Same old shit. Okay? Let's talk about Ethereum. Let's look at the chart first, real quick, or the chat here. Numbers are flying, 500. What's funny is as we get deeper into the bear market, my videos are getting more views. My channel is growing, and I think that's awesome because I do believe that I am one of the few people. I'm not saying that I'm the only one. There's so many good people on Twitter doing videos. There's tons. But I know crypto YouTube is a cesspool for the most part. So I do appreciate that my followers growing. I think people are seeing the value in what I'm putting out there, and it's good validation for me. Can I please pronounce ETH as ETH? No, I cannot. I'm sorry. This guy says, you the MF GOAT? Thank you, sir. Hey, Mayne, is it bad if my girlfriend cheated on me with my dad, but she was really happy after? Should I stay with her? I really like her. Well, it sounds, Lane, like that's your mom now. So you should speak respectfully when you're speaking about her. Music is banging. How do you play such good tunes with no YouTube issues? Non-monetized channel. Keep it real as always. Yeah, I don't monetize my videos. That's the only way the videos stay up with that music. And sometimes they get taken down anyways. Like when I played that Lana Del Rey song, they took my fucking video down. Excuse me. Is there some kind of Google spreadsheet or Excel program that would compile data sets that's based on my own system? I don't know if you're asking me for like a trade journal, but like Edgewonk, for example, is a very sophisticated trade journal that you can input all of your parameters into, and it will give you all the data in the world. So you can check that out. Found your tweet. It was December 2020. Okay. How did I figure 6K wasn't going to hold? I looked at the chart and I said to myself, we just dumped off of all-time high. Okay. Like me and Donald became legends on Twitter during this bear market because so many accounts called for new all-time highs on every one of these fucking bounces, and me and Donald were just shorting them with authority. Because once we broke market structure here, right? What is this? The bouncy ball meme? I was posting this shit 4 fucking years ago, right? I'm like, every time we come down to 6K, the reaction we get from the level is smaller than the last. What does that tell me? That tells me that this level is running out of fucking juice, and it's just a matter of time before it fucking pukes. So it doesn't mean you couldn't have longed the level. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, arguably 5 easy ass longs. Every time it came down to 6K, you could basically long and make money. But each bounce was weaker than the last. That told me that this level was not going to hold. That's the bouncy ball mean. It's a fucking descending triangle. Same shit. Right? So what do you think's happening here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests of this general area here. What do you think the odds are that this holds? I'm not saying it can't bounce, but, you know, that's part of the reason why I do think we eventually trade lower. Where's my levels, motherfucker? I wonder what my neighbors think I do once a week. They just hear me in my apartment fucking screaming at fucking random people. Like, it's so funny because there's literally 500 or 600 people watching at any given time, and it's just me alone in my apartment just fucking screaming about what I assume they think is gibberish. It's very weird to talk to yourself, even though I'm talking to you guys because you guys are watching, obviously. It's very strange being alone, right? It's like public speaking, but there's no one fucking there. Dude, Pemex freaking out. I have no idea what Pemex is. Mayne is absolutely precise. You're correct, Eddie. Why do you live in an apartment? I thought you were rich. Why would I live alone? Like, I'm 32. I don't have any kids. I don't have a dog. I live in one of the most expensive cities in North America in a beautiful condo. Like, what do you mean? Having a house means you're rich? I think having a house when you don't need one is stupid. I'm not trying to buy a house right now. The real estate market is shit. Felix, you're a fucking idiot. Fuck you. I thought you were rich. I have watches, Felix, that are worth more than your entire family. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the Twitch chat here. What's up, Lava Swarty? Do I use ExoChart's order flow? No. Did you just finish your drink, Mayne? No, I'm drinking water. Okay. Yeah. Why? I thought you were rich. Buy a house. You go buy a house right now. Do you know what mortgage rates are? Jesus Christ. I own property. Like, I just don't live in it. I like having an apartment because I travel a lot too. I just close the door. I'm fucking gone, right? I don't got to worry about shit. Okay, yeah. So we're coming up here, right? H12 SFP. We're coming up into this block here. So what you're going to want to watch, right? If you're a bull, perhaps you get a pullback here. So this could be a potential long into a short, right? So if it pulls back into here, you could long. But I'm looking for reasons to short in this gray box if they present themselves, right? If we get above this gray box, then that idea is wrong. And I'm either not getting in a trade or I'm getting stopped out. Okay, looking at Ethereum now. So Ethereum basically did the exact same thing, right? We had our 12-hour order block marked. We had our high sitting right there below the order block, right? FOMC happened. We rallied into it, tagged it, took out the low. So the exact same thing, exact same setup, right? Played out on Ethereum here, ran the high, nuked back down, took out the 12-hour low. So I personally took the trade on Bitcoin, but the exact same setup played out on Ethereum, pretty much like verbatim. Overall, I do think Ethereum, looks worse. If we go look at our Ethereum BTC chart, right? This was the pricing in my opinion, of the merger being bullish. And ever since the merger happened, Ethereum's been down only, right? This still looks like it's stuck in this range. This is very clearly a deviation now. We're rejecting below the mid-range. So I don't know. I posted a chart a few weeks ago being like, imagine the ETH cope when we were up here if we just trade all the way back down to here. So if that happens, if this chart remains bearish, right? This chart remains bearish, Ethereum has a lot more room to fall. And you can see that just visually looking at the chart. Right? The initial dump in June, we're still well above that on Ethereum, right? Whereas Bitcoin, we're trading right at that June low. So I do still think that lower is coming on Bitcoin and then therefore Ethereum as well. However, Ethereum is at a key level here. So I'm not surprised that we're getting a little bounce. Just like Bitcoin, there's the order block we're going to look at on Ethereum now. A move up into here. However, Ethereum made a new low, right? So the range that we're trading on Ethereum is actually here, right? So Bitcoin did not break market structure. Ethereum did, right? But Ethereum is coming into support here. We have this very clear kind of previous floor, right? That we're bouncing off of right now. But similar to Bitcoin, I'm looking for a move up here and then potentially a reason to short this for lower. If Bitcoin takes out that June low, right? If that takes out that June low, I don't know if Ethereum dumps as hard or harder yet. We have to watch what happens here. If this does not catch a bid and this continues to sell off, I think that if Bitcoin takes out that June low, Ethereum's going to trade down towards 1,000. Okay, but looking on the 12-hour chart for now, right? The next area of interest on the downside, right? We just bounced off of here. Is going to be down towards 1,000, 1050 to 1,100. It's going to be into here. So, similar plan to Bitcoin. Go up here. If we reject, look to get short. Target 1, target 2 would be down into here. Going to be focusing intently on this chart, because if both Bitcoin and Ethereum move up over the next few days into these bearish order blocks, so if Bitcoin moves up to almost at it already, and if Ethereum gets up into here, if this chart looks bearish, Ethereum is going to be the higher beta short. Okay, so you're going to want to pay attention to this, but basically the same plan. Right now, Ethereum's weaker. Look at Bitcoin. Did not break market structure. It SFP'd, and it's already rallying towards that order block. Ethereum broke market structure and has a ways to go before that order block there. So we'll have to wait and see. Right now, if you're not in a trade already, I wouldn't be entering a position right here. I'd want to wait and see. Let's see what happens when we get into this zone. If we get some weakness on low time frame, same thing with Ethereum. We need to wait and see. There's no trade for me currently. Okay? Make a plan. Wait. Execute, right? Macro on Ethereum, you have to remember, right? Bitcoin's trading around 20K. Ethereum is below its previous all-time high and is already tagged the equivalent level of 13K on Bitcoin, right? It's already tagged it on that initial dump. So, and if you look, Ethereum came down 80%, right? Bitcoin, I think, was only 70 something. Yeah, Bitcoin's 70, right? So Ethereum dropped more, traded lower, right? This is the equivalent of 20K on Bitcoin, 13K on Bitcoin. Ethereum's already trading below 20 and already tagged 13. So if you're looking high time frame, right, just like on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin remains below 20K, we're looking at 13. Well, if Ethereum gets back below 1120, so if it starts trading back below here, this becomes the range that I'm looking at, down to 670. High time frame. That's where I get that 5 to 700 area, right? It's basically here to like here as the potential bottom. Right here. Up into here. But who knows? Who fucking knows? That's high time frame shit. But looking low time frame, lower time frame, gonna wait and see if we get the action that we're looking for, right? So take that, draw back that order block. So we're going to wait and see. I'm not in a rush. I don't need to get in a trade right now. I made money today, so I can chill, right? Dollar continuing to rip, right? I posted this chart ages ago. I said, if this is your favorite altcoin, I posted this back here. I said, what are you doing if this is your favorite altcoin on the monthly chart? And everyone's like, I'm fucking bullish. It's going way higher. And that's exactly what's happening on the dollar, right? I told you guys, I think the dollar's going to 120 and it's fucking charging. And as long as this chart is going up, crypto has not bottomed and stocks have not bottomed, right? As long as this chart's going up. Look at the date here, right? That was the bottom before the last bull run. That was the top of the last bull run, or the 2014 bull run, or 2017 bull run, excuse me. 2020, bear market bottom, right here. 2020, 2021, bull market top, right here. So if we want the bull run to continue, or at least for things to bottom, this chart needs to fucking cool it. And it is showing no chill right now, okay? So super fucking bullish still. I was kind of hoping maybe we get a pullback into here, right? I thought maybe we get a pullback into here after we took out this high, and maybe we get a little bit of a pump on Bitcoin. Did not happen. We've broken market structure the upside. You now have a new weekly bullish order block here that is formed. So to me, it's going up, right? Not good for crypto. Not good for stonks. So we'll look at stocks. Right, everyone, oh, Bitcoin's holding up. Stocks already broke low. Hours later, crypto fucking craters. So stocks still look bad, right? Like, I don't know how you look at this and think that the fucking low is in yet. Literally, like, one green candle. Then the next month, we take out all the last 3 months highs and then close below bearishly. Big up wick, close bearish. This looks ready to puke. So I wouldn't be surprised if the stock market does not bottom until we get back to those kind of like pre-COVID levels, 3,200 to 3,300. And if the stock market goes down to here, Bitcoin is going much lower than where it is now. So are altcoins, okay? Doesn't mean it has to. Anything can fucking happen, right? But we came into this monthly zone. We got a reaction, came into the first area of resistance, rejected, and we're right back at the zone. So to me, maybe we get another bounce here, but ultimately I don't think that this level holds. It's already been tested here, had a reaction, failed to make a new high, right? Failed to break market structure, rejected from the first sign of resistance. So even if we get a little bit of bullishness in October, let's say, I still ultimately think that this trades lower going into Christmas and into the new year. So that's why I don't think there's a bottom yet. Looking at the 12-hour, did not get as clean of a setup here. It did come into this 12-hour bearish order block, but you have a very clear low right here and a high, similar to crypto. If we get some relief, I'm looking to short that up move on stocks because I think this continues to trade lower. I don't think the bottom is in yet. Okay. Mayne, what do you think about BTC DOM? Or BTC.D. I mean, listen, this thing's been down here for fucking ever, it seems. Listen, at the end of the day, if this rallies, all that means is BTC is strong. Doesn't necessarily mean everything's going up, right? Like, if this rallies, but everything's going down, it just means that Bitcoin's going down less than everything else. That's all. But yeah, I mean, this seems to be a key area of support here because it seems to be holding. But this is not a metric or something that I generally look at. Show watch. Which one? I have several. I just bought a new Patek Philippe. It's fucking beautiful. Bro, are you going fishing? No, man. Just wearing the bucket hat because it's comfy. Y'all, Mayne wise beyond his years. Thank you, but I'm actually quite old. No problem, pepperoni face. Thanks for tuning in, man. If you were if you were into an S short from the previous OB, would you now move your stop in validation to the current OB, or you close the short and open a new one? So that's a good question. So that's kind of like a trade management question, right? So if you're short from up here, right, which is what you're saying, and your stop was here, I would at the very least trail your stop to here. Now, when we made a new low below this 12-hour low and then dumped, I would hope that you would take some profit, right? I think very comfortably you can trail your stop to at least here. You could also trail it to here. However, you run the risk of then maybe we do something like this, right? And then you get wicked out and then it dumps, but then you can always re-enter. But I'd say at the very least, if your stop was here, you can absolutely bring it to here now. If you want to take profit and lock in your gains, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, by all means, fucking go for it. Because you can always re-enter another short here if it sets up. Or you can take some profit, bring your stop down to here. And then if another short sets up in here, guess what? Add to your short, trail your stop again. So there's lots of different things you can do. But if you shorted here with your stop here, I absolutely think you can trail your stop at least to here now. Yeah, can we see the watch collection? I could do a watch collection video on TikTok maybe one day. I am going to be doing a giveaway on TikTok because I don't know. I don't know why my TikTok is not growing faster. It's annoying. Almost at 10K on there. But my editor works so goddamn hard, you guys. He goes through all of my old streams. This is an hour-long video. My editor is going through the hundreds of videos on my page, and he finds the little bits of alpha, because a lot of what I say on here, I'm just talking shit, right? But I will sometimes say something prescient and, you know, interesting or useful. He goes through these videos, he finds those clips, he edits them into a very watchable, digestible way with captions, and he uploads those on TikTok. So if you just want alpha, if you're like, I don't want to watch the whole stream, but I want to hear when he talks about SFPs, order blocks, whatever, that shit's all on my TikTok. Okay? And he does a ton of fucking work getting those clips and making them fucking sick. The production quality on there is insane, and it's all props to him. And I want to pay him more. That's my goal, is to just keep paying him more money because he's a fucking stud. Okay? And to do that, I want to grow my TikTok, right? So I can get, like, I have a Prime sponsor here. Then I'll get Prime to sponsor some TikTok videos. Get some more money from my fucking editor, right? Because he's working so hard. So I want to get more people on TikTok following me. So I'm probably going to do some sort of giveaway where it's like, if you're following me, you know, you got to follow me on TikTok and comment on the video or something, I'll give away $1,000 or something like that. Because I really want to get that shit popping. Because if I can get TikTok popping, I think I can get more sponsorship money to pay my editor more. Because he's a fucking beast. And he deserves it, man. He works really hard. Can he go through them all and compile educational videos only? No, Jane, he can't. I literally just said that's what he does. The TikTok is all alpha. That's exactly what I just explained. Same with the YouTube shorts and the Instagram videos. He goes through all the videos and takes the educational bits and makes them short little videos. Chat is moving so fast that no one ever will see that. I'm really appreciating everything, man. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you, man. Crypto Rizzle is the man. Do you believe in Raptors, man? Like the dinosaur or the basketball team? Because yes to both. All right, guys. I think, yeah, the Cartier, the bust down Cartier is wild. It's wild. Mayne, are you not interested in trading BTC Dom? Not really. Okay, so I think that's where I'm gonna end it here. I think this has been a good video. We've covered our plan for Bitcoin. We've covered our plan for Ethereum. We've covered our plan for the equities market. We've looked at the dollar. We've looked at Ethereum BTC. I did a lot of bragging and I told you so. I did a lot of yelling. Jane even made an appearance. We yelled at her. So I think that this is a good place to end the video unless anyone has any questions. Hey, Mayne, thanks for the chart. I made 2.2K today off your Discord. I think Atom is one of the coins that has a lot of downside left. Let's take a look. God damn, it looks like I was charting a short on Atom and I didn't take it. Why not? Disappointing. Oh no, look at that. Beautiful H4 breaker. And then this is probably an H1 breaker. No, just H1 order block. Damn, I wish I would have taken those trades. Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Adam's been chatting, right? Staircasing up since the low. Almost 200% from the bottom, right? Adam is deathly close to losing market structure on the daily. Deathly close, right? 12 hour? Deathly close. So, yeah, I do agree that this looks like a chart that has the potential for a lot of downside here. So if this loses market structure on the daily here, very key area. This is, clearly KSR here as well, right? Daily market structure, these previous highs here, if we get below 13 on Atom, definitely looks like it has a lot of room to fall. I got a test that I didn't study for tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck, the Happy Apple. How's the weather look like in Toronto? I wouldn't know. I don't live there. What's up, Will? Mayne, what do you do if you don't have the 12-hour chart? Use the daily chart or the 3-day chart or the 4-hour chart. You don't have to use the 12-hour. The 12-hour is just 2 candles, right? Two 12-hour candles is just the daily. Use the daily. Mayne, my wife just followed you on TikTok. Can you put a baby in her? I will raise her. I'm disappointed that you assume my offspring would be a girl. I come from a family of boys. My dad comes from a family of boys. My grandpa comes from a family of boys. So I'm pretty sure I'm shooting out fucking boys, bro. But no, I appreciate the offer, but I will not impregnate your wife. AFK47N. Awesome. Do you believe that macro traders are raptors and they are causing this testing systematic like USD JPY thing and lots of things like many have no clue? I have no fucking idea what you just said there. I'm sorry. Roman is here. Please do a joint stream again. Would love to, man. Feel free to hit me up, Roman. I am going to Europe for 2 weeks. I'm leaving on Wednesday. So I will be without stream for the next 2 weeks, but I'm going to try and upload a video before then. Jane, you have COVID. No, Jane, I don't have COVID. Jesus Christ. Scotch or bourbon? Scotch. Scotch and whiskey. All right, guys, how to learn charts from beginners. Watch my videos, watch Crypto Cred's videos. He has a very good intro to TA series on his YouTube. Absolutely worth watching. All right, guys, I'm going to end the video here. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. If you want to join the Discord, the instructions to join are on my website, tradermayne.com. If you DM me and say, how do I join the Discord? I'm not going to fucking tell you. Okay, the instructions are on my website. It's very clear on exactly what you need to do to join. It is completely free. All right, shout out to Prime and the sponsors. Shout out to all of you. Hopefully you guys are making some money, having some fun. I love you all. I will talk to you soon. Peace out.